My name's Bob Bruce. I was the chairman of the Gas Forum in the late 1990s, I think it was, and saw it through, I think, its inception and the earlier exciting times. It was a very different organisation then, maybe a wee bit more ad hoc, and certainly a fairly close-knit community as we battled with what was then off gas and Clare Spotswood to introduce competition in the industry. It's taken for read now that competition is available in the gas industry. But don't forget, it wasn't until, I think, 1998 that we had full and universal competition across the Great Britain gas market. What has changed since then? Well, I guess we've had the Europeanisation of the energy market and the gas industry. Not, I'm sure, always for the better, but nevertheless it's here and we have to deal with things as they are, not maybe as we would wish them to be. Which is probably a significant change from the 1990s when we all had visions of the future and how we saw gas competition and the almost carrying the torch for competitive markets in gas in Europe. We went through a very arduous process in negotiating a network code for the gas industry, which I did check through my records and I think was signed on the 26th of February 1996. Unbelievably, nearly 20 years ago now, that we had a transportation arrangement within the UK gas industry that would allow shippers to ship their own gas across the system as, when and where they wished. Is it for the better? Well, I guess we're now moving into a phase of the competitive energy market when not necessarily are things quite as free and easy as they were. Regulation has become more and more a part of the industry, and not just regulation but deeper and more complex regulation. The specialisation in understanding regulation is an art in itself, whereas probably in the 1990s it was true to say we were not quite making it up as we went along, but somewhere near it. What were the major challenges that we faced? Well, I guess the principal challenge was actually making competition work in the gas industry. Signing the network code was no mean achievement for an industry that previously had had some degree of conflict, I think it's fair to say, and British Gas and Transco were seen as the opposition rather than partners in the process. And part of the network code negotiation process brought the two sides of the industries together. What it did also was, of course, to spawn the Gas Forum, when gas shippers felt they had a commonality of interest that needed to be discussed and worked through between themselves. That developed into the Gas Forum, and whilst originally we had a secretaryship between ourselves, then memory serves me, about 1995 we co-opted the services of Henry Boyd, of Henry Boyd Associates, Duke Street, as I remember, just off Oxford Street, and had a full-time Secretary General. That took the Gas Forum forward, certainly into a more organised and formal way. What were the other successes? Well, I think that between Henry Boyd and myself, we conjured up the idea of the Gas Forum luncheon. And never one to do things by halves, Henry hired the ballroom in the Savoy Hotel with a very nice view overlooking the Thames, and the inaugural Gas Forum luncheon was held, I think, in 1997. Much to our surprise, we were able to fill the room, and I think it was sufficient of a success to have continued annually since then. Anecdotes of office. We used to meet very often in the old IGEM, Institute of Gas Engineers offices, just up from the BBC in Lansdowne Place, is it? Very congenial surroundings they were indeed. But the informality of the occasion meant that as soon as our business was finished, we were able to repair for refreshment, I think, to the Lord Nelson just round the corner. We all talked so much that our thirsts were not inconsiderable, so it was more a necessity than anything. That's all I think I've got to say now. Thank you very much indeed for the opportunity. It's been both interesting and a pleasure in many ways to see how the small organisation as it started, with a group of people getting together out of necessity to drive the industry forward. My apologies that I can't join you for your annual luncheon on the 20th anniversary. Good luck to you all, and may the Gas Forum continue to flourish.